Meteorologist Matt Ritter is tracking Debby for us this morning. So Matt, where is the eye right now?
Okay, the center of the storm is just to the southwest of Savannah, but considering that a storm is not a point, for all intents and purposes, the center is over Savannah right now. But that means we've got a lull in the activity in terms of the extremely heavy rainfall because we've pulled in some drier air from the land. But in the meantime, we still have tropical storm warnings along the coast because the winds are still gusting over 40 miles per hour. In fact, near the center, still some gusts of around 60 miles per hour. But the feeder bands of extremely heavy rain, nonstop thunderstorms just to our north and to our northeast. And I think that's where the truly catastrophic rainfall amounts are going to end up from this storm. We've already gotten 6 to 8 inches of rainfall. And once the center begins to pivot out to sea a little bit, we'll get that wraparound. And I think late this afternoon into this evening is when we'll start getting back into some of those heavy rainfall amounts and when we'll start to add to our already appreciable totals. The official forecast from the National Hurricane Center between now and Thursday overnight, well, we just kept the map in the same place because it's barely going to move. In fact, as I mentioned, once it moves back over the Atlantic, it's going to encounter that very warm water and it could re-strengthen into a strong tropical storm before curving back towards the Grand Strand and making a secondary landfall. And so I think the worst, all things considered, in terms of the history books out of this system, really going to be mostly the low country and the Grand Strand of South Carolina. At any rate, as we head towards the end of the work week, the center of circulation will be still over land, weakening as it goes, but heading towards the mid-Atlantic and the nation's capital. And then as we head towards the upcoming weekend, eventually we'll be heading out to sea off the coast of New England and Nova Scotia. We'll have much more and the 7-day forecast for the Savannah area coming up in just a few more minutes. Lindsay?
Meteorologist Matt Ritter is tracking Debby for us this morning. So, you've got these second-by-second updates for us. Where's the eye right now?
Yeah, the center of circulation, basically for all intents and purposes right now, as of the 8 a.m. update from the National Hurricane Center, is Savannah itself. The precise center is still just off to the west of the city, but as we see in the lull of the activity, it's basically Savannah. Not too much rain happening right now. Of course, we've already picked up about 6 to 8 inches of rainfall, but as we see on the radar time lapse here, the feeder bands with the really non-stop torrential downpours and thunderstorms with possible tornadoes continues to be from Hilton Head up to Charleston, all the way up towards the Grand Strand. You don't see much change here, so it is just really starting to add up. We've pulled in a little bit of drier air because of the center of circulation, but there is still another wraparound band, which is just to our north and to our west. I really don't think that gets back into our area until later on this afternoon into this evening, but that's when we pick up another couple of inches of rainfall, and we have nowhere for that to go. So the flooding concerns will continue. Don't be too deceived by the lack of rainfall right now, relatively speaking. More is yet to come, and that's going to get us close to those double-digit rainfall amounts. Radar estimate accumulations continue to be over 5 to 6 inches over our area, all the way up towards Charleston, almost off the chart. We know from some ground truth that there's already been about 6 to 8 inches of rainfall in Savannah, and we could pick up another 2 to 3 before this is all said and done. Our wind speeds sustained, not too bad. Generally speaking, the worst is out over the water. Some of the wind gusts have kind of died down just a little bit temporarily. These numbers will be picking back up as we go through the rest of the day. Peak wind gusts so far at the airport have been reported around 44, 45 miles per hour, roughly 7 p.m. yesterday evening into early this morning. Haven't been too many strong wind gusts so far this morning because the center of circulation is basically over the city right now. But the future wind gusts as we go through the rest of the day, look at that. They start picking up again late this afternoon into this evening. And why is that going to happen? Because it looks like Debby's going to re-intensify by that time once it starts to move back over the open waters of the Gulf Stream. But officially right now we have 76 degrees with some light to sometimes moderate rain. Winds out of the east-southeast at only around 6 miles per hour. Not too gusty for the time being, but again, that'll be changing. Temperatures all over the area continue to be in the mid-70s. We'll barely get up to near 80 degrees later on this afternoon. Dew point temperatures, obviously tropical air mass, dew point temperatures are in the 70s. Our Futurecast satellite and radar again has a bullseye of the center of circulation right over Savannah, basically right now to about lunchtime. That's when we'll start to see some of that wraparound moisture get a little closer to the city again. As we head into the afternoon and into this evening, look at that. It's all lit up again as the storm starts to strengthen again and we pull in some more moisture off the Atlantic. That's when we'll start to get some occasional heavy rain again. Here we are 3 a.m. tomorrow morning. It's still raining, starting to break up, but still raining, and the center of circulation is just off to our east over the Atlantic. As we head into Wednesday during the day, it starts to move a little closer towards the middle of South Carolina, towards the coast, and eventually this system will be making another landfall somewhere between Georgetown and Myrtle Beach, definitely the Grand Strand area, and then heading up the coast. And additional rainfall on top of what has already fallen from the European computer model, looking at another 3 inches or so, but even more in South Carolina. I think when this thing really makes the history books, this truly catastrophic flooding is going to be in the low country of South Carolina. But, okay, we've got the flash flooding right now in the small streams and creeks in the roads and the highways. Where's that all got to go? The larger streams and creeks and eventually the rivers. Of course, just about everybody is going to have some problems, but some spots of note would be near Eden with the Okochee River. We could be looking at major flooding that would eventually occur as we get a little closer towards Wednesday and Thursday. May not go below flood stage completely until the upcoming weekend. And the Savannah River at Silo, we've been looking at minor to moderate flooding. Again, also by the end of the work week, not totally going below flood stage until the upcoming weekend. The reason this is such a slow mover, and this is common because it's only early August, the jet stream is weak and it's well to the north, and we don't have any strong cold fronts to come down here and pick up Debby and send her back out to sea. It's not till Wednesday, Thursday that we finally get a little bit of an impulse along the jet stream. That'll give it a nudge north, send it towards the mid-Atlantic and the nation's capital, and then eventually out to sea. Your 7-day forecast for the Savannah area, again, lots of rain and wind for today and for tomorrow. We start to get some more appreciable sunshine as we head towards Thursday and Friday. That gets us back into the low 90s as we have to deal with that river flooding. Lindsay?